not subscribed, to please subscribe to our YouTube channel as we continue to expose the satanic Illuminati agenda. I just wanted to do a quick episode on Apple and its affiliation with the occult. I guess it's just another coincidence, of course, that the first ever Apple computer that sold, the very first one that Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak created, was sold for $666.66. Now, if you Google it or you look into it in deeper measure, you'll find out that according to popular demand, it's because he liked repeating digits. Yes, that Wozniak liked repeating digits. In other words, he liked numbers that were in consecutive order, like 0000 or 222.22. And I guess it's just another coincidence, right? That the very first Apple computer, right, that was sold out of a garage, that is now the leading brand in technology, sold for $666.66. $666.66. If you really believe in coincidence, so we're talking, before I talked about the obelisk, the Washington Monument, 666 inches in width, 6,666 inches in height. Must be a coincidence, right? Must be a major, major coincidence. Okay, and what do you think the Apple stands for? The logo, the Apple. What does it stand for? Steve Jobs just loved apples. Steve Wozniak just loved eating apples. That was their favorite thing, apples. Couldn't get enough apples. They were just sitting around and they went, hey, you know what? We have this cool computer. We should call it Apple because I like apples and you like apples and apples are great. It's called Apple because of the apple in the Garden of Eden. He who ate of the apple had knowledge, correct? Okay? The serpent told Eve to eat of the apple from the tree of knowledge. That's where the name came from. Okay? They are worshipers of the beast. They are followers in Satan. They wanted knowledge. That's what this is about. They think Yahweh kept knowledge from them, and that he's a bad God, and that he's wrong from keeping knowledge from them, and that eating of the apple from the tree was the right decision, and they're all descendants from there, from eating of the apple of knowledge. That's where the name Apple comes from. So put the two together. Apple, the name of the company, it's not called Jobs. It's not called Wozniak, whatever this guy's name is. Okay, it's not called Jobs and Wozniak. It's not called anything related to their life. It's called Apple, and the logo is an apple with a bite mark through it. And they sold the first computer for $666.66. Nope, it's got to be a coincidence. Wake up, please. Stop allowing them to control your reality, your family's reality, your friends' reality. The only truth is Jesus Christ. Can you not see that this is a spiritual war? This is a spiritual attack on Jesus Christ and his followers. The people of power, the people with money, the people of fame, the false idols, the people they make movies about, like Jobs, the people they constantly pump through the media, are of the system of Satan. This is a war against Jesus Christ and his followers, and you have to decide what side you're on. Okay? If you're on Jesus Christ's side, then you need to wake up and expose this stuff and stop believing in coincidences. 666.66. The price of the first Apple computer. Apple with a bite mark. Nope. You know what? It's just a coincidence. Or they're trolling people in 1976. They're trolling people then because they knew there'd be conspiracy theorists out there. The war between God and the devil has been going on since the beginning of time. Now, the war is more intensified than ever. but it's a silent war because Christians are sleeping on the sidelines. Christians are worshiping Apple and going and seeing the Steve Jobs movie and critiquing the performance of the actors like morons, like a bunch of sheep. This is a war waged on Christianity, on Jesus Christ's disciples. And we're in the end times, and all the power has been swung towards Satanists, so towards witches and warlocks. We have to take back the power, or it's done. And you could sit there and say, I'm waiting for it to end. I understand that perspective. If you believe in Christ, and you follow the scriptures, and you're waiting for the Son of Man to return, I understand that. But this is about our brothers and sisters who are being led astray. And anyone who doesn't care isn't a follower of Christ. We need to bring them back. That's our job as disciples of Christ, to bring our brothers and sisters back to our Father in heaven. Okay? And those of you in righteousness that don't care, then what kind of a follower of Christ are you? This is not an attack on anyone listening. This is a motivational preaching to get behind Jesus Christ, okay? To see the signs of the times, okay? And in the morning, there will be a storm today, for the sky is red and threatening. Do you know how to discern the appearance of the sky, but cannot discern the signs of the times? An evil and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and a sign will not be given it, except the sign of Jonah. And he left and went away. Matthew 16:13, 16:14. Why is it that man cannot see the signs of the times? I'll tell you why. Because we're blinded by media propaganda, by trying to fit in, by trying to follow what they tell us is cool. It is all part of the satanic structure, the satanic system. So again, I'll say it one more time. $666.66. The name of the company, Apple, the logo, a biting of the apple. That doesn't represent Eve in the garden? Are you kidding me? Come on now. Let's be real here. What do you think it represents then? Tell me. Give me a funny answer. Huh? They both are just lovers of apple orchards? Let's be real. Let me just reread you Revelation 13:18. Even though most of you know it already. Let me just say it one more time for anyone out there that might not get it, that might believe in coincidences. Or are they just trolling us? Yeah, they've been trolling us since they built the Washington Monument, before there was internet, before there was trolling. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for the number is that of a man, and his number is 666. What a coincidence that since that time of the first Apple computer being sold, that Apple has gone on to become the face of technology. The iPhone has become the most popular device in modern history. People cannot live without their iPhone, or their iPad, or their iLaptop, whatever it's called. MacBook, right? The top technology producer. And what is involved in that? GPS tracking systems, the monitoring of your conversations, the monitoring of your likes and dislikes, your text messages, your now. Okay? Because they made a deal then. They had foreseen the future. They knew what technology needed to be ushered in. Okay? Whether Apple's behind the microchip or not, they very well could be the company behind it. Or Intel. We don't know yet. We'll know when we see it. Or all of them combined. But it must be a coincidence that they sold the very first one for $666.66 because it was just a random number. Nobody on the PR team, well, I guess they didn't have a PR team, but nobody in Jobs or Wozniak's family was standing by and saying, wait a minute. You might not want to do 666 because it's kind of like a number that'll scare people away.